So when the draft happened, did we actually need a wide receiver? Because certainly, I don't think so. What's poppin', y'all, and happy Victory Monday. It's your man, Clockboy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Call. Anyways, I hope yesterday really woke up a lot of Packer and Brewer fans out there. First off, congratulations to the Brew Crew for making the playoffs for 3 consecutive years. That's a franchise record, so gotta give my shout out to my hometown team. And, of course, the Packers beat the Saints on the road. What a win. Now, before I, get to all the bases and everything, yes, I know the Saints did, obviously, the Metrodome is one of the hardest places to play in all of sports because the fans are so loud, and they didn't have Michael Thomas. There were no fans, no Michael Thomas. So if you want to get on me because of that, go for it. We didn't have Devontae Adams and we still won, so psych. Anyways, what a game. Back and forth. It was really well done. Fantastic performance by Aaron Rodgers. And Drew Brees. Both of those two had a really great game. Over 280 passing yards for both of them, and three touchdowns for each. So I think it's obviously it's pretty clear that Brees and Rodgers are going to go down as some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We all know that. Before I get to the MVP of the game, there were so many people that I could really see getting this because so many people did outstanding. We have Robert Tonyan, who had a career day. We have Alan Lazard, who had a career day. And of course Aaron Rodgers played fantastic. But a lot of people think Aaron Rodgers would deserve the MVP because he played without Devontae Adams and played like himself, but in my opinion, the MVP definitely actually belongs to Zadarius Smith because of that key play in the fourth quarter. So, of course, there was a lot of things that happened in this game. Of course, the defense was doing a terrible job in the first 3 quarters, really, because they could not contain Alvin Kamara. I knew he was going to be unstoppable. He only had 6 carries for 50-something yards. 6 carries, 58 yards or something like that. And Latavius Murray also had 12 carries for 58 yards. I think the Saints could have actually used their ground game a lot more. I think that actually could have worked because we weren't really doing a good job. Not having Kenny Clark was huge. Their running game is pretty good. Is pretty okay, but I think it could be a lot better if they actually utilized the running game a lot more. But anyways, Kamara was outstanding. 2 receiving touchdowns. He had that 54-yard touchdown catch and run. One of the worst defensive efforts by the Packers, but an incredible play by Alvin Kamara. I was wowed. The dude is insane. Everyone's Christian McCaffrey's the best, but everyone keeps forgetting about how good and explosive Alvin Kamara is. Probably the greatest third down back in the history of the league. No question asked about that. We played, the fourth quarter was the change of the game because obviously we decided after Kamara had that one amazing touchdown catch run / or whatever, we decided we were almost in our territory where I think we were at our 49-yard line. And we decided to go for it on 4th and 1, and we do not convert, which was pretty huge. Obviously, the Saints were like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And then all of a sudden, 2 plays later, they tried to do a wild card with Taysom Hill, who obviously a lot of people forgot was on the Packers. We signed him as a free agent, And then we ended up cutting him. I thought he had one of the best preseasons for a quarterback. Thought we were going to keep him and have him be the backup QB, but we decided to cut him. Don't know why, but I guess it returned in our favor because he fumbled the ball. Zadarius Smith forced fumble and the fumble recovery. And that was the key play that changed everything. Because of that, we marched down the field with 10 plus. We marched down the field, hit a field goal, another 3 and out, another touchdown, and with that, it was pretty much settled. They went down, got a field goal, got the onside kick, and ended the game. So, just like that, Zadarius Smith definitely deserves everything. So, of course, the real things that were really high on the game were no Davante Adams. Who was going to be the ones to step up? Who were going to be the ones to really deliver? And our tight ends really did great. Now, obviously, a lot of people aren't really talking about our tight ends because Alan Lazard probably had the best game of his career. He was doing everything. For a team, he was all over. So, got to give credit to Alan Lazard. He had 6 catches for 146 yards and a TD. Sorry, I had to look up the stats. And then our tight ends all had amazing games. They, in the blocking game and the receiving game, they did incredible. Robert Tonyan, 5 catches for 50 yards and a TD. Jace Sternberger finally gets a catch, 3 catches for 36 yards. And Mercedes Lewis had a catch for 18 and a TD. So, our tight ends were really the real MVPs of these games because they were blocking out the runs against a team that really could do good in the run game, but I feel like the passing game really did benefit them. We did not need Davante Adams for this win. Alan Lazard did plenty good. Valdez-Scantling only had a catch for 5 yards. He was targeted a lot, but he could not deliver. Janoris Jenkins really did a good job covering him, which is obviously why Lazard was targeted more because Mercedes, what's the name? Lattimore is not that type of corner. So, anyways, Rodgers was only sacked once, but really, I don't know how anybody is still down in this offense. We are 3-0. We scored 43, 42, and 37 in these first 3 games. Our offense has done a lot. Now, I'll say one thing. Russell Wilson will probably end up with the MVP. I am sorry. But you gotta not count Rodgers out. You can't. He doesn't matter. Now that he is at his most healthy, because I think the injuries have really affected him, but he's at his most healthy. He got out of that relationship with Danica Patrick, and he's figured it out. I mean, seriously, he has. But I'm really excited for that. I mean, first off, one thing I gotta say before I kind of move on to next week, talking about next week, at this point, I had the Packers going 1-2, being 1-2. Because they lose on the road to Minnesota and New Orleans because those stadiums are really hard to play in. But because there were no fans, that's why we are 3-0. Obviously, that could have changed the game. I'd say these games would be a lot more closer and the outcome could have changed. But even if we would have had fans and we win this game, this would be even crazier. But the fact is, we are 3-0. It doesn't really matter from here. Looking at our division, we are 3-0, the Bears are 3-0, the Lions are 1-2, and the Vikings are 0-3. So, obviously, I think a lot of people are now going to start counting in the Bears because they're also 3-0. They benched Trubisky and put Foles in and came back to win against the Falcons, who are our next opponent. So, Atlanta Falcons really should not be 0-3. The last 2 weeks, they led the Cowboys 29-10. Cowboys came back and won the game off a crazy onside kick. Then this week, they benched Foles. They're up 26. They benched him. Yeah, Bears jumped Trubisky for Foles. Atlanta's up 26-10. There's no way how you have an offense with that power that can really choke like that. And of course, the Bears win 30-26 because the Falcons' defense is absolutely terrible. I feel so bad for Falcons fans right now. Obviously, this is a tough time to really play a team like that. Of course, I'm going to pick the Packers winning because I feel like we're the best team that they have faced this year. I mean, from judging from the schedule, they had to face Seattle. They put up a lot of points against them and did pretty well, but they lost. They put up points against Dallas. They put up points against the Bears, and but they couldn't win in any of them because their second half performances and their offense gives up and they just kind of lose it. So, do I think the same thing will happen to the Packers? I don't necessarily say that because the Falcons' defense is absolutely terrible, and I feel like it's going to be the same. It might be similar to how we played against Minnesota. So that might be something. So I'd say before heading into the bye week, the Packers on Monday Night Football will be 4-0. Hopefully that's the case. And hopefully we have Devontae Adams and Kenny Clark both back. So, and also Christian Kirksey did get injured. Don't know the update on his status, but hopefully it's not that serious because he's leading our team in tackles and we need him desperately because our inside linebackers aren't really good. So, anyways, I'm excited for this season. Also, I'll be making a video pretty soon on the Brewers and my takes for the regular season and how I think they'll fare out, and also my predictions for the NBA Finals. Heat versus Lakers. Anyways, it's your man Clubboy Bales. Be safe and be smart and go Pack Go. We'll see you next time.